All right. The gate was 11.1 million. It's the fourth highest gate in UFC history. The attendance was 19,040. The bonuses went to Dober, Diego, Kelleher, Olenek, and McGregor. I gave out 5 tonight. I'm feeling very generous tonight. And then the 50-50 raffle was $108,650. Who's got the first question?
Dana, I want to ask you just quickly on medical updates. Macy Barber was obviously clearly hurt. Do you have any initial updates on her?
She was transported, but I don't know what's going on. Elliott was transported with a head and face CT, and obviously Cerrone.
With Macy, I want to ask you real quick. Do you know if there was any pre-existing condition, or what did you make of the doctor coming in? We don't often see a knee check in the middle of a fight like that.
So weird. I know. I don't know, man. That was weird. Where's Conor? Did you ever find out what that was about? I want to check her knee. All right.
Fair enough. Quickly on Cowboy's condition. Precautionary, or does it look like he has a broken orbital, or do we know?
I thought he had a broken nose. But I don't know. What do I know?
Fair enough. Let's get to the main event. Conor McGregor, obviously an incredible victory for him tonight. What were your thoughts on his performance?
I was blown away. He looked unbelievable. You won't hear another peep out of me about fighting at 170. So, I know that there's always critics and there's always somebody who has an opinion. People are going to say that Cowboy was shot, which is total bullshit. And Conor McGregor came out. He looked fast. He hit hard. He had a game plan, and he finished a real tough kid who came to win.
Obviously, Conor McGregor is great for UFC business, but I wonder, Manny Pacquiao's team has already sent out a poster of him. Floyd Mayweather has just now sent out a poster of, the rematch. And is this going to be good for you, or is this bad for you now that Conor's going to be so much in demand again that now you got to go through all these options and figure out what works?
Was Conor out of demand?
No.
These are great problems to have. I'll deal with them.
Nice. I know you don't typically release numbers, but can you give us an idea of, how this pay-per-view is looking?
Killed it. Like, the number that we did on a fucking streaming service is unbelievable. Yeah. Let me tell you what, and I gotta say this publicly too, because the job that ESPN did promoting this fight, I have never seen anything like it. You guys have been in the fight business for a long time. I haven't seen anything like this in my life. You couldn't turn on an ESPN channel without knowing the fight was on. One of my friends was showing me today, and I don't know this shit, but there's on your phone, there's like malls that you can go to, right? Like a mall. You can go shopping and buy stuff from all these different stores. To get into the store to buy, you had to get through the Conor McGregor Cowboy fight first and select to buy it or don't buy it or whatever. So I just have to say, the job that they did promoting this fight is second to none. It was amazing.
So coming into this fight, you teased that, hey, if Conor wins, you really like the idea of a lightweight title rematch. But this week, there's been a lot of fan demand, it seems like, for him versus Masvidal. And now that you're saying, hey, you like him at 170 pounds, what do you think makes more sense? A lightweight title fight, or maybe this fight with Masvidal?
Listen, every time there's somebody out there fun, there's always somebody fun that can match up with Conor, and everybody wants to fight Conor. Everybody's wanted to fight Conor for the last however many years. When you look at what makes sense, right? We're at a place right now where Conor was saying, going into the Khabib fight, he had lots of personal stuff, some stuff self-inflicted. He had injuries, he had all these things going on, and he has been obsessed with getting that rematch because he knows that he wasn't, 100% right. And when you look at this for Khabib is 28-0, he's undefeated, right? You start talking about this kid's legacy. First of all, to go 28-0 in this sport is, I don't care who you fought, it's tough to do, right? Well, this guy's a world champion. And after tonight and with how Khabib won the first time and how famous Khabib has become since that first fight, we're looking at, like, you know, Hagler Hearns. We're looking at, like, you know, Ali Foreman, Ali Frazier. This is a massive fight with global appeal. It's the fight that you make. It's the fight that makes sense. It's for the 155-pound title. If Conor and Masvidal fight, neither one of them even have a title. Although Conor does want his BMF title, but he doesn't have a world championship. So Khabib's the fight to make. It's huge for Khabib's legacy too. I mean, if he beat Conor McGregor, then he beats Tony Ferguson, then he beats Conor McGregor again, and I mean, this is how this kid, when he retires, he's 30-something-0, and he's beat all the best.
Last thing for me, Dana, Cowboy, I want to get your thoughts on him. I mean, obviously a future UFC Hall of Famer and all-time great. You said it. People are going to criticize, say, shot, that sort of thing. What do you see for Cowboy moving forward? I mean, would you recommend he only fights at 155? Do you want to take time off? What would you do?
He fought a 55-pounder tonight. You know what I mean? It's just like, people are going to do it. It's just, you can't stop it. This is what people do. Media, fans, whatever. Conor McGregor looked ridiculous tonight. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody. And the way that he went in there, the way that he did it, he looked fast, he looked sharp, he looked strong, and it was all about Conor. Had nothing to do with Cowboy being shot or anything like that. Yep.
Hey, Dana. You know, everybody talks about Conor's physical skills, but do you think what separates him maybe from a lot of guys is his mental ability? And it seems like, you know, he's a good game planner, and he just has that ability to put everything else out of the way and kind of focus on the fight, and it might be the thing that separates him from a lot of guys.
That kid has an incredible fight IQ, and he has the speed, the power, and the ability to back it up and implement.
And during your career, you know, you've seen a lot of guys that, you know, they were tough guys and they lose fights and they don't come back the way, you know, he came back tonight. I mean, a lot of times guys, you know, kind of, they lose it and they're not the same confidence-wise. Is that another thing that you notice in him that makes him different?
Well, the other thing that makes it different is, more importantly than you lose one and you come back, is the time off. Time off is usually never very good for fighters. You stay active, you stay in better shape, your timing is better, all that stuff. And many of you know throughout the years with me talking, I'm a big believer in ring rust. I believe in ring rust. It's real. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen it play out. We didn't see it tonight.
And last thing for me then, you know, I told you I thought a Khabib fight would do $3 million with Conor, right? So I'm in agreement with you, but
I'll bet it does more.
okay.
Listen, when you said that, I was with you. I'm telling you right now, Khabib versus Conor is the biggest fight in the company's and the sports history, but I think it might rival Conor and Floyd.
So I just throw this out. I mean, he said he would fight in March if that was there. You got 40 seconds. Here's your problem that you have if you wait for Khabib, don't you? Khabib's no guarantee to win, number one.
Right.
And then number two, if Conor fights in March, now you have him sort of on the same path, and then as soon as he wins, he's ready to fight the winner, as opposed to if, let's say, Khabib loses, now you don't know you have a rematch or what you do. Doesn't it make sense to bring him back and maybe put that Masvidal fight on underneath Adesanya, and you have or in front of Adesanya, but you have him fight again, gives you another big fight at the start of the year and keeps him active. As he only fought 40 seconds, as good as he looked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that make sense that you could do. I gotta see what he wants to do. You know what I mean? I know he wants this fight, and I think he's willing to wait to get it. So we'll see. Listen, do I want Conor to fight 3 more times this year? Sure. You know, do I want to see Masvidal Conor? Sure. But you got to do what makes sense too. And I just really think the Khabib Conor fight is big for both of their legacies and obviously for the sport.
Hi, Dana, to your right.
Hi. Hi.
Hey there. So Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, was here tonight. How interested would you be to put that Khabib and Conor fight in Raiders Stadium?
That is not what I thought you were going to ask me, but yeah, I think that the Khabib Conor fight, could be done anywhere. It could be done in a stadium somewhere. It could be done in Madison Square Garden, Dallas, Texas Stadium, the O2. I mean, you could do that fight anywhere. So we need to sit down and look at what makes the most sense.